So let me get this straight. You know that the tweets should have Hunter Biden compromising positions, possibly with prostitutes or drugs or underage women or an illegal gun that he purchased that he's never been charged for buying illegally, or who knows what else. But you know nothing about the emails. That's why Byron Donalds is so good at what he does. Oh, and by the way, Democrats still calling the Hunter Biden laptop fake. Yeah, the laptop, it's not real. Come on. How do they arrive at that conclusion, right? How do they arrive at the idea that it's not real after all of this? It's clearly real. AOC, for example, ranted about it. She took off. Here's how she, in her infinite wisdom, saw it all. Watch.
So they've dragged a social media platform here in Congress. They're weaponizing the use of this committee so that they can do it again. A whole hearing about a 24-hour hiccup in a right-wing political operation. That is why we are here right now. And it's just an abuse of public resources, an abuse of public time. We could be talking about healthcare. We could be talking about bringing down the cost of prescription drugs. We could be talking about abortion rights, civil rights, voting rights. But instead, we're talking about Hunter Biden's half-fake laptop story. I mean, this is an embarrassment.
We could be talking about how remarkable it is that somebody like that ever made it to Congress. We could. Against all odds. Wow. Listen, it wasn't half fake. It wasn't a 24-hour hiccup. Pretty much every major social media site actively suppressed any mention of Hunter Biden's laptop, period. It was a blanket effort involving the FBI, social media companies, executives at other places like the New York Times and the Washington Post, all in coordination, collusion, if you will, with the Biden operation. All to keep it out of the public eye so that Hunter Biden didn't embarrass his father before the election. And everybody knows now, 5% or more of the people that actually voted for Joe Biden said they would not have, certainly would not have, if they had known about Hunter Biden's laptop. And wouldn't you know it? Former Twitter executives now say it was a mistake to censor the story. And the New York Post, they're actually facing some consequences. All of a sudden, they're real sorry about what happened. They're just sorry they got caught. But listen.
People could and did talk about the contents of the laptop on Twitter or anywhere else, including other much larger platforms, but they were prevented from sharing the primary documents on Twitter. Still, over the course of that day, it became clear that Twitter had not fully appreciated the impact of that policy on free press and others. As Mr. Dorsey testified before Congress on multiple occasions, Twitter changed its policy within 24 hours and admitted its initial action was wrong. This policy revision immediately allowed people to tweet the original articles with the embedded source materials. Relying on its long-standing practice not to retroactively apply new policies, Twitter informed the New York Post that it could immediately begin tweeting when it deleted the original tweets, which would have freed them to retweet the same content again. The New York Post chose not to delete its original tweets, so Twitter made an exception after 2 weeks to retroactively apply the new policy to the Post's tweets. In hindsight, Twitter should have reinstated the Post account immediately.
We are so sorry. We put our hands right on the scale of an election. We're so sorry. Oh, by the way, did our guy win? The only way this country can survive is through free speech. We need to protect it. We need to expose people like this who wish to do away with it. And right now, the number of people who'd rather get rid of the First Amendment to the Constitution is alarmingly high. Don't ever be one of them. We need to protect the one thing that is the envy of the rest of the world, and that is the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, protecting your right to speech, to gather, to practice religion, to print whatever you want, to be who you want. So don't ever be on the other side.